Newport News in Review starts right now.
Hello, I'm Aaron Pritchett, and welcome to this edition of Newport News in Review for the month of July 2011. Light up the sky, light up the night. A time to stand proud and celebrate with all our might as we come together as one nation to give thanks to those past and present for making this great country what it is today. Not to mention providing us with the many great freedoms that we as Americans enjoy all across this great land from sea to shining sea. And what better way to enjoy these freedoms than basking in the hot summer sun and of course cooling off as we make a splash with the Newport News Police Department Marine Unit, based right here at Leeward Marina, which lies at the foot of the very iconic James River Bridge. It's a career that many consider, but only a few decide to commit their lives to. One that requires a foundation to excel, and greater yet, serve and protect the people. And although many associate the Newport News Police Department with its state-of-the-art headquarters building, the police cars that you see out on the street, and what you may read or hear about in the news, it's the men and women in uniform that define what the department is all about, as they strive to keep you safe at all hours of the day and night throughout the year. But sometimes their job requires a lot more than you can ever imagine, that has them constantly patrolling and training on land and, believe it or not, out on the water. As the Newport News Police Department Marine Unit takes to the numerous waterways in and around Hampton Roads, making their presence known with a fully capable 35-foot response boat known as a moose boat, with a 13.5-foot wide catamaran-style hull powered by twin 350-horsepower Yamaha engines that allow this boat to cut through the water with ease in various conditions and weather year-round. But don't let the need for speed and the thought of spending the day putting this impressive watercraft through its paces fool you, because this is no pleasure cruise. Thanks to its 3 full-time and 6 part-time police officers from various skill sets within the department, they help to make up this impressive unit and enable them to focus in on what they do best. Everything from homeland security, drug interdiction, search and rescue, and the never-ending job of educating the public through frequent vessel inspections and other worthwhile programs. Not to mention the constant training that they focus on as a unit and with other Marine units throughout the area. Because when you have one of the most technologically advanced boats in Hampton Roads, you have to, as they spend long hours conducting various scenarios, search patterns, and learning the wide array of complex equipment on board, so that when life is on the line and every second counts, this cohesive unit can perform safely and work together to carry out their mission out on the water. We are proud to feature the Newport News Police Department Marine Unit as they strive for excellence each and every day, as they serve, protect, and keep us all safe in the many waterways in and around Hampton Roads. Well, July has been another busy month, so let's take a look at what's been going on right here in the city of Newport News. 1 down, 399 to go, as one local department continues on with tradition and an opportunity to display the red, white, and blue for you and the countless number of people who have made this country what it is today, as American flags fly high along the streets of Newport News. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then a chance to let your creativity run wild, as these kids come together in a unique little place for some free summertime activities, and in this case to create and concoct some delectable treats. Go. And your future begins now. That is, of course, if you can pass the first test that can make or break your chances of entering the job of your dreams, as these applicants set their sights high and put their mind and body to the ultimate test in the hopes of devoting their lives to fighting fires and saving lives here in the city of Newport News. Well, you never know until you try. Well, that can be said for just about anything in life. But what about when it comes to pursuing the job of your dreams? Well, it's a lot to consider, especially knowing full well it's going to take everything you got, both physically and mentally, and a whole lot more. And that's just to get past the initial first stage of becoming a member of the Newport News Fire Department. as they recently conducted the entry-level agility test portion of their application process at the Newport News Fire Department Training Center in the Lee Hall section of Newport News.
The physical agility test is part of our hiring process. This hiring process opened, the application period opened in March. They took a written testing process at the beginning of April. Those that qualified move forward to the physical agility test, and then there's other components. If we are given authority to hire, our hire date will be August of this year. We have them do job-related things. You don't need any special training for that. We could have you climb anything, but we have you climb a ladder. We could have you pull anything, but we have you pull hose. We use fire equipment for our test. Those that are successful and end up getting hired go through a two-part recruit training model. The first is for the EMT Intermediate certification, and then they go through the Tidewater Regional Fire Academy, and then they'll hit the street as a whole employee about a year after their hire date.
Oh, this is just the starting point. Go. Years ago, the old physical agility test was, could you run a mile and a half in under 12 minutes? Could you do so many pull-ups and push-ups? And none of those things were quite job-related. Everything we do now is a job-related activity, and it's just the baseline. Doing these things simply means that you have the capacity to be successful. It does not mean you're going to be successful. That requires constant training, education, retraining, re-education, and a commitment to being the best that you can be.
All right, let's move to the next station. Some people come out here and they want to be a firefighter. I don't think sometimes they understand what it really entails to be a firefighter. And when they come out here and they just have that drive, they have that fire in their eye, and they get to a point and their body says, I want to quit, but you just see them look to the sky or close their eyes and they find it somewhere in them and they pull through. And that's what it takes. And it's determination. And that's what we like to see in an individual. That's a mark on somebody's personality. And to be in this profession, you have to be determined to succeed. We don't actually help them through the process. We give them direction on what they're supposed to do. But the reality of it is you have to have something to offer when you come in here, because we have to have something to build on. And actually what I do is I'm the coordinator of the Fire Academy. So when I get these people in the Fire Academy, I need a baseline. I need a foundation, something I can build on. And sometimes I look at people and I do want to see them succeed. I want to see everybody succeed, because just them being here, we have something in common. They want to be a firefighter. That's their goal when they show up.
Here we go, 1, 2, 3, go.
So when I see people and you see the tears in their eyes or the sweat coming off their face or just the disappointment, you do feel bad for them, you know? But on the other hand, in our profession, we have to work hard. And we're called at somebody's worst day, when we have to be able to perform in the worst elements and the hottest times, and we have to be able to overcome those things. So, yes, it is failure and you feel bad, you know, your kind of heart goes out to them sometimes, but we have expectations that we have to meet, and you have to have that when you start here.
Nobody in my family is in the fire department except for my grandpa, who worked for the FDNY, and I don't really know. A couple years ago, something came about me and I wanted to be in the fire department, and ever since I've been a volunteer and I love it, and I just want to make it my career one day.
Fire service is a phenomenal opportunity to learn new things, to be exposed to new things, to meet new people. But more than that, it's a chance to give back to the community. And there's fewer and fewer opportunities that people look at that they can truly give back to the community now. This is an opportunity where they can train and be prepared to respond to when someone's having the worst day of their lives. They can be that shining light that the citizen, the person that's having a bad day, realizes there's somebody out there that cares, there's somebody out there to help them.
Tough. Where you at? A lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
It's their season to shine, soak up the sun, and make a splash. But what appears to be a dream job of cruising up and down on the James River and on the many waterways in and around Hampton Roads is a whole lot more than you realize. Because when it comes to constant training, serving, protecting, and enforcing the laws, the Newport News Police Department Marine Unit is making waves year-round, because you never know what a day will bring out on the water.
Yeah, most people think that all we do is go out on the water and sit and put our shades on and lay in the sun and get a suntan, and it's completely different. Most people are completely fooled. They think all we're out here doing is kissing babies and shaking hands, and every day is sunny and 70. No, we go out. If it's February 3 o'clock in the morning during a thunderstorm, we're out there. If it's like today, nice calm day, we still have to be out here. I believe it's extremely important for the city to have a marine unit. With the amount of waterways we have and the distance and the type of water that we have, I mean, it's extremely dangerous out here on the James. And to be able to assist the boaters that are out here, I mean, this is a huge recreational spot for boaters. People come as far as North Carolina and Maryland to come here to go fishing. And it's an extremely large industrial spot. We have, of course, the shipyard here, the coal piers, APCO Fuels, and the reserve fleet, Surrey Nuclear Power. All of these areas are right in the middle of the recreational boater. And so we need to make sure that when people come out that they are safe, that there's somebody there that can come out and get them when they fall into trouble. And as far as education, we have to educate the public on what they need to be out here on the water and to have a safe day.
Good afternoon, Captain. We'll be coming along your port side for a vessel safety inspection.
Safety is our #1 concern. The majority of our day is doing vessel inspections to make sure that the people that are out here on the water have the proper safety equipment, and if they don't have the proper safety equipment, we make sure that they do have it, as well as education as well. A lot of people think that you buy a boat, as long as it floats, that you can go out on the water, and they don't realize the safety issues that comes with it and then the dangers that come along with it as well. It's good that the state of Virginia has put together a law where by 2016 that every boater 65 or under is going to have a boater safety course. So we educate the people on that, try to make sure that they have all their safety stuff, and just to enlighten them on the safety aspects of what goes on the water, as well as the dangers that are on the water. That way they know full scale what goes on out here and what could happen. It's good for 30 days. If we come up on you in the next 30 days, just tell us that you were inspected and we'll ask you for the pink copy. We'll check the date and stuff like that, and then we'll be on your way.
Training out on the water is critically important. We're constantly training, even on a daily basis when we're out here. If we're out here for our regular day out on the water, we're constantly focusing on training. If we're not doing the vessel inspections, or we're not doing a body recovery or a search and rescue, we're focusing on training. All right, what we're doing today is training on the side scan sonar. The side scan, it's called a tow fish. It looks like a small missile that we tow behind the boat. It's tethered to the boat, and it runs on what's called 900 to 1800 kilohertz range. It's basically an acoustic device. It sends a sound signal down to the ocean floor. It reflects off the ocean floor and gets beamed back to the tow fish. The tow fish will pick up that imaging, and the difference in wavelengths as it comes back is depicted as an image. Right now we're running at the 900 kilohertz at 100 feet. I'll show them lengths and images, and so they can tell how big an object is under the water. This is the Cumberland, and you can see the sides of the ship here, and these are actually the ribs that are still attached. So this will help them understand that if we're looking for a gun, it needs to be these settings. If we're looking for a sunken boat, it can be these settings.
Training is extremely important for us on the boat because it's stuff that if you don't use it, you do lose it out here. Everything we do, you have to keep up to date and current because of the situations we do face. We have to keep up with how to drive the boat, we have to do different rescues, the different kind of situations we face. And the training we do for that is what sets us up for whether it's going to be failure or we succeed at what we go to do. And we like to go out there and succeed, so training is extremely important for us out here on the water.
When we're out on the water on a daily basis, we never know what we're going to find. We can be running search and rescues or search patterns to vessel inspections. We do everything from drug interdiction to looking for sea turtles. So if The endangered animals like this, we try and figure out what happened to it and why it died and how that occurs. That assists all the environmental agencies to understand more about the turtle's life. So we'll come out here and assist them in any way we can to recover their bodies. We have the tools and the ability necessary to lift these type of animals. Some of them can get up to 500 to 800 pounds. So we'll assist in any way we can to pull them from the water so it helps out with the research. I love what I do. I love my job. Doing what I did on the street as a regular patrol unit prepared me for the advanced things I'm doing here on the boat. Just to reassure the citizens that we're out here 365 days a year. We are on call 24 hours a day. We'll be here nonstop, whether it's hot, cold, wind, rain, we're out here. We're here to assist the public in any way we can, to educate, to keep them safe, and if need be, to help rescue them when they're in the water.
Grab your fishing pole, bait your hook, and cast your line. The fish are biting, and there's plenty of volunteers to go around to ensure that kids of all ages are reeling in the big catch and experiencing the joys of fishing for the very first time. Thanks to the 16th Annual Children's Fishing Clinic recently held at the James River Fishing Pier.
Are you ready to go fishing? Good job!
This is about trying to bring kids out to learn how to catch fish, learn about the environment, marine waters around them, and give children who have been perhaps not exposed to the water and have an opportunity to learn how to fish. And that's what we've been trying to do for the last now 16 years.
Hold the fish again.
Hold your fish. It'll hold your fish. Lord was very blessed to give us the day today compared to what we've had for the last week or so. But the children get a rod and a reel, all the tackle that they use, the t-shirt, a hat, lunch, snack and so forth, and try to make them have a day that they'll want to come back and do this again.
I'm not touching it. I am not touching it.
When this first began, that we were going to solicit corporate sponsors and work with them to raise the funds necessary, and we've formed a partnership. The main sponsors that run this are the Newport News Rotary Club and the Coastal Conservation Association, along with the partners we established with City of Newport News, Parks and Rec, and Tourism. We have many, many volunteer groups that come out, from the apprentice school, shipyard volunteers, the Sheriff's Department, Newport News Rotary, of course, the Peninsula Saltwater Sports Fishermen's Association is well represented every year. We've kind of broadened our touch and our reach to as many organizations that want to participate. When a fisherman buys a fishing license, those funds are into a separate fund, the Recreational Angling Fund. They make a contribution to help make this possible, a substantial one. And they feel very important that their mission is education for children. And to create new fishermen that'll come up into the future, that's what we're all about.
Absolutely, to get them interested, to see that there are other things other than, sitting behind the computer and having, your face down and your thumbs going all day. It's good to be out and appreciate what God has given to us, the environment, and to learn how you can appreciate things that are healthy and responsible and enjoy yourself and contribute to the community.
No, you can't. You can't pay for these kind of memories. Are priceless, really. I think it's a wonderful thing that that they do for the community here, and these kids are learning a lot and taking a lot with them, life lessons, not just how to fish, but how to get along, how to interact with each other, and a respect for their environment also as well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the fish are biting or not. It's just the experience, and it's a great experience because with my daughter.
Fishing is a fun experience, and it can be a group experience. It's something you can do with your family. It's something they can do with their friends, and you don't necessarily have to walk away with a cooler full of fish to have had a good time. And some of their chaperones maybe would let them keep fish, but by and large, the fish they do catch get thrown overboard, returned back to the water, but they obviously, it's part of the experience. It's just, it's a fun outing, and especially for kids, who knows how much they're learning, how much new experiences they get from something like this.
All right, good job.
They're sugary sweet, quite the treat, and decorating them can be quite the feat, especially when you team up, race against the clock, and compete to top off some creative cupcakes with every imaginable topping under one roof. And of all places, your local library. And that was the case with the first ever Cupcake War Challenge that was recently held at the Main Street Library.
We're very glad to have you here with us. We're in for an exciting afternoon. You will be competing with others to create your own masterpiece. There will be 2 themes and 1 freestyle. You do any decoration you want. And we'll give you a few tips, and then we'll start the clock and you will create. Well, we thought we'd do something wonderful to kick off the teen portion of our summer reading program. We like to have a lot of activities for boys and girls throughout the summer. And this was the first for the teens, and we thought with the popularity of food programs, why not do a teen Cupcake Wars? And that's what caused us to decide to do this. And we decided we'd invite teens to come and be creative with cupcakes.
We don't really have a game plan. We're just doing this all as we go. We are mixing the frostings and putting them into bags so we can split our cupcakes in half to symbolize each other.
Each teen can do an individual cupcake freestyle, and then we have the choice of having a team or acting individually and designing a cupcake with an aquatic theme and a cupcake with an alien theme.
I didn't really know what to expect, but I do really like doing cupcakes because I've done it at my school, like one of these competitions with cakes, and we won the competition, and I've done it before, and I've just always liked it, and I've always liked the show Cupcake War, so I thought this would be really good when I saw it. I like watch it every time I see it. Anytime we can make the library come alive for teens, we're excited. Anytime we can show them that this is a place that is not like what they might imagine the traditional library where you have to be quiet and just go and get required reading books. Anytime we can make it be a lively place for them, we're really excited. And we think that programs like these offer them another look at the library in a different way, and that's what we're about.
Well, at first we were gonna do green frosting with a face, but then I decided that the Reese's would be a good way to make the cupcake unique in its own way.
It was kind of a challenge. At the same time, I really did have fun with it because you get to make whatever design you wanted to. Your cupcakes could look whatever you wanted to, and it was really fun.
I'm loving the creativity. I'm loving seeing them come up with ideas, jump up and run over to the table and get things, think of ways to make their ideas shine, and to explain their cupcakes.
Put little red eyes on them so he would look scarier.
We found there was a lot of symbolism there we didn't even know existed once they began to explain what they had created. So that part was really exciting.
To be honest, I am amazed. I am absolutely amazed, and I already know we're going to keep doing this over and over again, and we're going to make it better every year. I love seeing the kids be able to be creative, and they get to eat their creations, which just makes it double fun.
It was really just about having fun and being creative. And it doesn't matter if we win or lose, but we're happy to be here, and we had lots of fun. We're going to do this every year.
To some, it's expected. To others, it just magically appears, not really knowing how it got there. But the simple gesture of flying the red, white, and blue can evoke feelings in all of us and give us a chance to thank those past and present for making this great country what it is today. And 4 times out of the year, the Department of Engineering's Traffic Operations Division sets out to do just that, as they proudly unfurl over 400 American flags along the streets of Newport News.
We're installing the American flags for the 4th of July. We always install them on the national holidays. Memorial Day, the 4th of July, Flag Day, Veterans Day. If there's any ship launchings from the shipyard, we're usually requested to put them up on those dates also, and we provide those. The department that takes care of this is Engineering Department. It's Traffic Operations, which involves the traffic sign shop, traffic pavement marking shop, and also the traffic signal shop. They do corridors on Jefferson Avenue at the main intersections of Jefferson and Mercury, Jefferson, and J. Clyde, Jefferson, and Oyster Point. There's also another crew that runs Warwick Boulevard corridor from approximately 70th Street up to Lee's Mill Drive. And there's also a signal shop crew that works the intersections downtown, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and Jefferson. and they also do Main Street from River Road to Ward Boulevard. I appreciate the fact that the flags are flown on the national holidays. I appreciate the fact that I actually get to do that. You know, it means something to me. It should mean something to everyone, and to be, you know, show appreciation just for the fact, you know, that it shows pride in America for the fact that it's supporting, it shows support for the military, past and present and future. It just should make you feel good. You know, different people have different opinions, but, you know, that's mine.
Well, this truck, it's a boom truck, so we can, you know, we can get up higher and move around a little bit, like harder areas to get to for the flags. We put up probably 100 and some just on our side, and I know the other side, they do a little bit more, but we do it at the intersections.
A lot of the citizens, when we're putting them up, if they're walking around, they'll high five us or you know, give us thumbs up, and it's very, very cool that they enjoy it, and I'm very proud to be able to do it. It's very patriotic. It means a lot, especially for all the people that have served this country, and for me to be able to represent, you know, them by doing this, because I wasn't in the military, but yet they paid a hefty price for our freedom.
Some things don't always go according to plan. Sometimes they're avoidable, and other times you're at the whim of Mother Nature. You know, downpours, thunder, lightning, and pretty much anything that can ruin your day or night. And although they were able to get a few events in before Mother Nature decided to have a little light show of her own, the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism had to settle in on July 5th to light up the sky. There's no need to worry, because plenty of people came back for that second night to enjoy a beautiful evening on the James River in beautiful Victory Landing Park.
The 4th of July kind of turned into a two-day event unexpectedly this year. On the 4th of July, from 7 to 8, we had a lovely short event, and we were really hoping we'd have a window of opportunity to shoot our fireworks from, and we waited, and it just wasn't meant to be on July 4th. But fortunately, we kind of regrouped and decided that July 5th was going to be our night for our fireworks, and we were very lucky because July 5th turned into be a beautiful evening. And we actually had people from throughout Hampton Roads and visitors to Hampton Roads who tried to go to other cities' shows on July 4th that were canceled, came to Newport News for our fireworks on July 5th.
For us, just to enjoy the freedoms of America is great, and just the ability to enjoy God's creation.
You know, Victory Landing Park really is a beautiful location right on the James River. We have a barge in the middle of the river, so you have a perfect view of the fireworks show. It's a beautiful night, and even though every year we worry about thunderstorms in the afternoon, you know, when we pull it off, we get a nice light breeze off the water. It was very comfortable out here. Families had plenty of room to spread out. People bought picnic dinners, and as well as going to our food vendors. It was a very relaxed evening, and I think some people kind of enjoyed that this year 4th of July lasted 2 days. It kind of spread out their holiday a little bit, and we were glad to welcome everybody from Newport News and make sure they celebrated the 4th of July even if it was on the 5th. Is the perfect location because we have an unobstructed view on the James River. The barge is very close. You can see the fireworks being shot from the barge level all the way up to the sky. You know, we have plenty of room for people to spread out. You know, it makes Newport News look really good because a lot of people don't know Victory Landing Park is back here. And we introduce a lot of people to say, oh, I didn't know that's in Newport News. And you know, Newport News has a lot of different sides to it, and in Parks and Recreation, we really try to get that message out to both the citizens and the visitors that there's a lot to Newport News, there's a lot to discover even if you lived here a long time, and we're very proud that we make 4th of July happen for everybody.
Well, that's about all the time we have for you this month. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Newport News in Review, as we've helped to make some waves out here on the water with the very impressive Newport News Police Department Marine Unit. And as always, on behalf of everyone here at Newport News TV, whether you're watching us on TV or online at nngov.com, Facebook, or YouTube, thanks for watching. And And we'll see you here real soon for the August edition of Newport News in Review right here on Newport News Television.
For more information on Newport News and Review, contact Aaron Pritchett at apritchett@nngov.com.